We all know shellfish these days is pretty expensive stuff, but there is still one cheap variety. It's the humble mussel, and it is beautiful when it's cooked properly. And this mussel chowder you will really, really enjoy. The first thing is just remember, you scrub the mussels, you take the beards off, and you discard any that are already open. Now we'll just throw those into a pot. We'll add a generous amount of white wine, because I'm going to make the soup with that as a stock. A few sprigs of parsley and a little bit of chopped onion. You could add some other flavourings if you like. I think that's enough. I will also add just the smallest amount of water, because as I said, I am intending making a stock with this. Then we will put the top on and put it on the heat. Just shake it to make sure that they're all evenly balanced. Now a chowder is a fairly thick soup, so you actually start it off with the roux, which is equal quantities of flour and butter. So we just put some butter in here, a couple of tablespoons is enough, and we melt that. Right, and once that's melted, we then add an equal quantity of flour, which is another couple of tablespoons. Measured accurately, of course. And we cook that slowly because we want what is called a blonde roux. Now, I'm not being tricky, but a blonde roux means it's white. You don't want it to colour the soup because the soup's going to have cream in it, so therefore you want it to be cooked so that the flour flavour doesn't go through, but it also doesn't colour it. So you keep on stirring that, and if need be, turn it down a bit. You don't have to cook it very long, but a minute or two. And at the same time, while this is happening, we have to keep an eye on these mussels. Now, nothing's happening with those as yet, so that's all right. But the thing with mussels is, as they open, you have to pull them out. They won't all open together, so you keep an eye on them. I'm an informative fella today. All right, this is looking all right here. And to that, I'm going to add some vegetables. About 1 onion, 1 or 2 stalks of celery, 1 large potato, a couple of cobs of corn, and 1 medium carrot. Now, you don't have to follow those slavishly. You can really use anything you like. You can use capsicum, for example. And that is capsicum, Ian. Bell pepper, as it's also known. And we just mix that up with the roux, making sure there's no lumps. Right, into that, I'm then going to add a bottle of cream. You can add less if you like. None if you really like, or milk. It sometimes works with milk. And we'll just mix that in really well. Remembering the main aim at this stage is to make sure that that roux is not there in a lump. All right, let's have a look and see how we're going. Yep, now it's starting to happen. Remembering that these are fairly hot, take them out. You don't have to take them out of the shells quite yet because we're going to do that in a minute anyway. Alright, when we've got them all out, what we'll then do is just strain this liquid into the chowder, because we've now got a fairly mussely stock. Like that. Leaving the solids behind. Because this is a bit fast, this one, we will then move it onto here. And just stir it in really well. Alright, now while that's cooking, what we need to do is get these mussels ready, take them out of their shells. When they're cool enough to handle, make sure that you discard any onion or parsley sprigs. And the other thing is any that are still shut, discard those as well. Right, ho. So let's get rid of those. Let's have a look at the soup. Yeah, now that's looking good. And just a little taste to check the seasoning, because sometimes the mussels can be a bit salty, their stock, so. I'll tell you one thing, it's hot. Boy, is it hot. And it's salty enough. Some pepper would be nice. Also, a good splash of Tabasco. This is not absolutely essential, but it just adds that little bit of oomph that I like so much. And then we will add the mussels back in and some spring onions and turn that off immediately because those mussels are still warm and we don't want to overcook them. And then just into a nice deep bowl. This would be nice with some garlic bread or garlic croutons or something like that. But make sure in each bowl there's plenty of the mussels and plenty of the vegetables. You could make it thicker if you liked. I actually like it about this texture. The Americans, when they make chowders, I think they judge them if you can stand your spoon straight upright in it. I prefer it a bit like this. Now that's a delicious way to serve mussels, and it's not too expensive either.